Hello, this is UK Live with Lyudmila Nemiri, and we continue our broadcasting from Kyiv. And we are very happy that we continue our big project, the School of Genetic or Genetic for Everyone. And let me tell you that this project is implemented with the support of Nadiya Reproductive Medicine Clinic. And we are very happy that our guest today is a well-known Ukrainian genetic director of clinic, Valery Zukin. Mr. Zukin, thank you very much to be with us today, and we are very happy to see you again.
Good day. Thank you for the invitation, for your very popular, very interesting channel. And I would like to propose you the topic which I think will be interesting for the English-speaking auditorium about the three-parent babies. The exact name of my speech today is three-parent babies, breakthrough or trick. The term three-parent baby was popularized by the media, and it's used to describe a child conceived using a specific type of mitochondrial replacement therapy. This technique involves combining the DNA from three people, the nuclear DNA from father and mother, and mitochondrial DNA from a donor. The technique was developed to prevent the transmission of certain mitochondrial diseases from mother to child. That three-parent baby, it is more the journalist term and more scientific term is mitochondrial replacement therapy, and but for the usual people, it's more understandable the term of three-parent baby, and even I saw the term of design babies. I don't know why it's design, because you understand that I did not see any design in this technique of the treatment.
Design is very special term, yeah? It's very special, design.
You understand that some promoted journalists like this term. While no single individual is credited with coining of term, it imitates the context of media reporting of the scientific development surrounding MRT, mitochondrial replacement therapy, particularly during the early 2010, when the procedure was gaining attention. The scientific community generally prefers the term mitochondrial replacement therapy to describe this technique. And we could see this term in English version of Wikipedia, mitochondrial replacement therapy, and it is like the mitochondrial donation. It is a lot of synonyms, and I prefer the term the nuclear transfer because it's more precise explanation of this procedure. But after this the definition introduction, I would like to say a few words about the history of these methods. The beginning of the history and the roots of this history it's in the 80s, and this technique started to be used in the late 90s to boost the eggs of all the women who were having problems concerning and led to the birth about the 30 babies. Concern were raised the mixture of genetic materials and protein could cause problems with respect to epigenetic class or differences in the ability of the recipient and donor materials to affect the development process or due to injection. After the three children born through this technique were found to have development disorders, it was surgery. The FDA, Food and Drug Administration, banned this technique. The real pioneer of cytoplasmic transfer was Jacques Cohen, very famous United States embryologist, who began this technique in the late of 90s. What is the core of this technique? That first of all, that embryologists receive the cytoplasm from the donor oocytes, After this, he transferred this cytoplasm with the husband's sperm in the patient egg. And when we receive the developing embryos, it is a so-called cytoplasmic transfer. I would like to remind you again that in the United States, in 1996, embryology Zukin and others at the Institute of Reproductive Medicine and Science, St. Barbara Medical Center in Livingston, New Jersey, first used cytoplasmic transfer in a human assisted reproduction procedure. In 1997, the first baby was born using this procedure. In 2001, Cohen and others reported that 10 single babies, twins, and even quadruplet at his New Jersey clinic, and further succeeding in Israel has been born using this technique. Using the modification of the procedure, a baby had been born in Eastern Virginia, school 5 children in Women's Hospital Clinic in Taichung, Taiwan, twins in Naples, Italy, and twins in India. In total, in 2016, 50 children worldwide has been reported to have been born using cytoplasmic transfer. But like I said previously, in 2002, the US FDA, Food and Drug Administration, as the Biologic Response Modifiers Advisory Committee meeting to advise on the technique of cytoplasmic transfer to treat infertility. This committee felt that there was a risk at the time on an advanced transfer chromosome and enhanced survival of abnormal embryos. FDA informed the clinics that they considered the cytoplasmic transfer technique as a new treatment, and as such, it would require investigation new drug application. But in spite of all efforts, even for today, this procedure is forbidden in the United States. And in 2016, 12 out of certain parents of children born using cytoplasmic transfer participated in a limited follow-up inquiry via online questionnaire. Children whose age then were 13, 18 reported no major problem. And
excuse me, does it mean that today in USA it is impossible to use this method?
In the USA it's impossible, it is forbidden. But the next step of development of this technique began in the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, that following animal experiment and the recommendation of Government Commission Expert Committee, the UK regulator, Human Fertilization and Embryology, were passed in 2001 regulating and allow research in human embryos. And in 2004, that laboratory in Newcastle University applied for a license to develop a pronuclear transfer to avoid the transmission of mitochondrial diseases, and was granted the license in 2005. Following further research by Newcastle and the Wellcome Trust, scientific review, public consultation, debate, the UK government recommended that mitochondrial donation be legalized in 2013. And in 2015, it was the revolutionary step that UK Parliament passed the Human Fertilization and Embryology regulation, which came into force on October 29, 2015, making human mitochondrial donation legal in the United Kingdom. For this moment, it's only one country over the world, as I know, has allowed to provide in this procedure. It is the United Kingdom. Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority was authorized to license and regulate medical center which wanted to use human mitochondrial donation. And in February 2016, U.S. National Academy of Science issued a report describing technologies when current and surrounding ethical issues. that I think that the main role in this United Kingdom allowance for this procedure was the public activity of the patient. The simple patient, it was the Sharon Bernardi. In 2012, Sharon Bernardi began to promote the activity in mass media. Why? Because she lost all 7 of her children for a rare genetical disease. And she said that every woman must have the right to have her own children, and if she has a problem, medical problem, as a carrier status of the mitochondrial disease, this procedure must be allowed. It was a lot of interviews, it was a lot of explanation, and in this picture you could see in this photo you could see the Sharon Bernardi with her last son Edward, who died in 2012 in age 21. And we must remember the activity of this simple woman who pushed United Kingdom Parliament to allow this procedure. But if we would like to explain the cytoplasmic transfer and mitochondrial replacement therapy, we must explain what is the difference between the cytoplasmic transfer and the nuclear transfer. Mm-hmm. In this picture, that you could see that comparison of the two procedures, and for this reason I used the example of the cucumbers and salt. If, for example, you have not salted cucumbers, you could add in the bottle with cucumbers the salt. And it is very similar with the cytoplasmic transfer. But another option, you could transfer the cucumbers with under-salted solution. In salted solution, it is like the transfer of the nucleus in the fresh cytoplasm, donor cytoplasm. And I don't know that how it will be understandable for the people from the West, but in Ukraine, this procedure is known for everybody, and it could be very understandable and very detectable, that this procedure. That first successful pronuclear transfer in monkeys has been made in 2010 by United States scientist Shuhrat Mitalipov, who was born in Kazakhstan and came in United States in 90s, if I don't mistake, from the former Soviet Union. And it was...
He was immigrant. He was an immigrant.
He was a scientific immigrant in 90s, and he became very famous and very successful in United States. But this example was inspired all the scientists to make something similar in the human. And how it is done, and you could see that in this picture, this procedure, how it's made in this situation, that we simultaneously make the fertilization of the patient egg and donor's egg, and after this the embryologist removed the pronucleus from the donor egg and removed the pronucleus from the patient egg. And after this, he introduced the patient's nucleus. It is a genetic material of father and mother in the enucleated cytoplasm of the donor eggs. And after this, the embryos must develop by the regular laws, regular rules. And in this picture, you could see how it's made in reality. That you could see, like the embryologist removed the pronucleus, the genetic material of the parents, genetical parents, and after this transfer this genetic material in enucleated donor egg. I would like to remind you that approval of British Parliament, the so-called Prepared Baby Bill, it was the beginning, it was like the green light for the scientists over the world. And the next page of our history is the born of the first baby after the spindle transfer. The spindle transfer, the difference between the spindle and pronuclear transfer, that in spindle transfer, the embryologist first of all remove the spindle, genetic material from the egg, and after this transfer it in the enucleated donor egg, and after this make the fertilization. The difference between the spindle and pronuclear transfer, but in the case of the spindle transfer, that fertilization make after the transfer of genetic material, and in the case of pronuclear transfer, that first of all we make the fertilization, and after this transfer the genetic material in enucleated and fertilized donor egg. That for this moment, this technology is both using in the over the world, and for example, the Newcastle group, that one of the pioneer of pronuclear transfer, use more the pronuclear transfer, and another scientist, as for example Dr. John Zahn from New York, use the spindle transfer. And in 2016, it was the publication in all world famous mass media about the born the first baby after the spindle transfer, the first three-parent baby. I would like to tell you some story about this and my personal communication with this very famous scientist. That Dr. Zhang worked in the field of this nuclear transfer and preparing the scientific background for three-parent baby, beginning from the beginning of 2000s. He makes a lot of publication, and I don't remember, but I think that I sent him mail to ask him some professional question and to send me some publication which I could not find in internet. And after this, in one day in the clinic in Kiev, it was the calling, and the man with the Chinese accent sent me that I'm Dr. Zhang from New York, I'm now in Kiev, could I come in your clinic? I was very surprised, and I said, sure, and I have met him, and I would like, first of all, to know how that the famous United States doctor came in Kiev. And he said that he is married to a Ukrainian lady, and he came for his relatives in Ukraine. We discussed him some question, but we did not discuss straightly the question about the technology and all of this. And that in this time, in our clinic, we are working in this technology, but we are working more like for the experimental technique, and that our first embryos, which we are creating after the pronuclear transfer, has been aneuploid. They have not the normal chromosome, but our third or fourth patient, at least we receive the normal embryo, and after this we, how to say, stay before the dilemma that what must we do with these embryos. The patient said that you have the my normal embryos, she knows about this, and I have the 14 years period of treating of the infertility without any success. I have chance and I understand all the risks. And could you make the embryo transfer? After the written consent of the patient, after the very careful explanations, we make this embryo transfer. Clearly that we did not wait that in the first our attempt we could achieve the pregnancy, but she became pregnant.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's wonderful. It was very surprising for us. And in June 1st of 2016, even we make the local press conference, explains that we have the first pregnancy over the world. At least we thought about this, that it was the first pregnancy, and we are waiting the born of the baby. But as I said, in September 2016, it was like the breakthrough that the first three-parent baby was born.
Does it mean that it was yours know-how? You know,
you understand that it is
it's
very
a reason
difficult.
to proud. It's a reason to proud.
You understand that it is achievement not only us, because it was the some publication of John Zank, the some publication of group from Newcastle before, and it is very difficult to find the who is the real winner in this situation, who is real pioneer, because you understand that as all the things in the modern science, it is the results of activity of the many scientists. But at least after my first, how to say, very contradictory feelings, I called for Dr. Zank and congratulate him with his pioneer work and his unbelievable achievement. And in the beginning of 2017, that our first IVF baby was born, and in this photo you could see that embryologist Pavlo Mazur, Dr. Viktor Veselovsky, and me in the maternity hospital, and Pavlo Mazur keep this baby in his hands, like he keep before the embryo. After this, he keeps the baby in his hands.
The results of huge, wonderful work.
Yes, I would like to propose you the publication that has been made few days after this in CNN Health. You could see, and I would like to read the text of this journalist. It was the first of the entire world. Because why it was the first? Because John Zank used the technology of the spindle transfer. It was the first baby after the spindle transfer. But the first baby after the pronuclear transfer was born in Kiev. It has been confirmed in this publication, and we are very proud, and we think that it is the beginning of new achievement, new way, I don't know. We are very satisfied, and that if we would like to see after the 7 years, this baby for this moment is healthy, she is 7 years, and she has a brother which has been born a few years after this, after the transfer of the same embryo.
According to this technology, yeah?
Yeah, according to this technology, the embryo which has been received during the same procedure. That, but if we will return for the technology and indication, we will say not for the trick, not like the designing baby. We would like to explain all of these things by the medical language, the language of the doctors. That what is the indication for nuclear transfer? First of all, it's the prevention of mitochondrial diseases, and it was understandable idea which has been understood in the beginning of the 2000 by the many people, and this idea has been promoted by the Sharon Bernardi. Another indication is embryo arrest and oocyte maturation. I will explain you what is it. And the third very common indication, it is the repeated implantation failures, including the very ancient and very, how to say that, fine problem for all specialists in IVF and for all the patient is the aging aneuploidy. Let's to try to understand all of these points by this step by step. That what is the mitochondrial diseases? Mitochondrial diseases refers a group of disorders caused by dysfunctional mitochondria, which as energy producing structures within cells. Mitochondrial diseases refers to a group of disorders caused by dysfunctional mitochondria, which are energy procedures. That I would like to explain you that in our nucleus, all of us, all the human, we have the 25,000 pairs of the genes, the half from mother and half from father. And in our cytoplasm, we have the special organelles, mitochondrials, and in these mitochondrials we have the ring DNA, and in this ring DNA we have the 37 genes. And if we have the genes, that it is possible to have the mutation in this. And mutation in these genes could be the reason of the many diseases in many organs, in nerve system, in the hearing system, in the cardiomyopathy. For example, the majority cases when the patient had the heart transplantation, it is a mitochondrial mutation in these genes, which could be the reason of the cardiomyopathy. And how the genetic inheritance of this mitochondrial disease? As a rule, that the mother, because we receive the mitochondria only from mother, not from father.
Why only from mother?
You understand that you would like, you must ask is in nature, because according to the human nature, that all the mitochondrial DNA has only maternal origin. The sperm could not transfer the mitochondrial DNA. And if, for example, in mother cytoplasm, she has the part of the genes so-called wild type, normal type, and part of these genes with mutation, it's so-called status of heteroplasmy. If, for example, that less than 20% is mutant, that nobody knows about this, and the woman will be healthy, and if she transfers the same ratio for her baby, the baby will be healthy also. If it will be approximately 50% of mutant genes, it will be some mild disease. And if it will be 70–80% of mutant genes, it will be some disease, like, for example, Lay disease, cardiomyopathy, that is a lot of the mitochondrial diseases. And the ratio between the mutant genes and mutant plus normal genes, whole genome, it's so-called heteroplasmy. That in this situation, that the making of this mitochondrial replacement therapy could avoid the women who is the carrier of mitochondrial disease born the sick babies. And for this reason, it's the first indication. That another condition which could help the mitochondrial replacement therapy. It's so-called oocyte zygote embryon maturation arrest, and for this moment it is a new abbreviation, OZEMA. It is a special condition, and in this picture you could see the development of the normal embryo. And in comparison, the development of the embryo in the patient with the embryo arrest, you could see like the normal embryo develop, and in day 5 she has the so-called blastocellular, and it is grow up, but the embryos patient with oocyte maturation arrest or embryo development arrest, they could not develop. And how the doctors and the patient meet in this situation? The patient with unexplained infertility come in the reproductive clinic. After this, the doctor receives the oocyte, makes the fertilization, and after this, the embryologist said that your embryo is developed for day 2, day 3, and stops their development. Many years it was the big question what has happened, because this situation has been known maybe from the beginning of IVF era, but in 2015, in 2016, begin to publish the new investigation, and it was found around the 30-40 genes which could be the reason of the oocyte maturation arrest. What is the meaning of oocyte maturation? The development immature oocytes after the regular ovarian stimulation, the stopping of development in zygote stage, and the stopping of development in early embryo development. For this moment, we know about the 30 genes, and every day it is a new publication with the new genes, and that our first patient was from this group of embryo development arrest. And in this situation that I would like to explain for our audience what is the mechanism to help this nuclear transfer. That if, for example, we have in the nucleus the gene which produces some protein which must contain in the cytoplasm, and it was mutant, when we transfer this nucleus in the healthy cytoplasm, the embryo could develop, and as a result it would be the baby with 25,000 genes from father, 20,000 genes from mother, and only 37 genes from the donor. It is one is the explanation of the 3-parent baby. And the third indication is a so-called aging aneuploidy. What is meaning aging aneuploidy? That approximately in the beginning of 2010, it was the beginning of the development of the pre-implantation genetic testing, aneuploidy screening, for 24 chromosomes. In general, the investigation of chromosome by the FISH method, not for the all, for the few chromosome beginning in the beginning of 90s, but in 2007, 2009, it was the beginning of era of the so-called 24 chromosome testing. It's more precise testing. And after this, it was known the situation that the rate of the normal embryos that decreased from the age. And for example, if the woman in the age of 28, 29 has only 25% of the aneuploid abnormal chromosome, in the age of 35 years, 40, in the age of 40, 60, in the age of 45, 90%. It is so-called aging aneuploidy, and it is a big threshold in the achievement of the good results. The women after the 42 years in IVF, because it is known that it is possible to achieve the pregnancy, but the pregnancy rate after the 40-42 dramatically decreased. Why it's happened? Because from the beginning that it is a scheme of the chromosome non-disjunction. And in this situation, we could understand how formated the aneuploid embryo. And this situation is connected with the specific of the female meiosis. The female meiosis begin from the fetal period of the developing woman. When the woman in the womb of her mother, it begins the meiosis, and it's stopped in so-called premeiotic S phase. It is one of the early phase of the meiosis before the burning. And after this interruption of the 20 or 25 years, depending, that it continued, and it formated the oocyte, which produced after the fertilization the embryo and the baby. And for example, if the woman is 25, 27 years, this period is 25, 27. But if, for example, that this period became more than 40 years, this interruption in the meiosis is a critical, and it increases the non-disjunction of chromosome and production of more and more aneuploid embryos. And for this reason, that in the beginning we try to use the immature oocyte. We make the transfer in the stage of GV, M1, but we could not overcome the agent aneuploidy, and I think that by this method it's impossible. But what is the reason for us that think, because for this moment that only in our clinic we achieve the burning of the 15 babies.
Ого! It's quite a lot.
And according to our data, that I know that one baby was born after the Dr. Zank activity, and even he has made the embryo transfer not in the United States according to the legal restriction in Mexico, and few babies was born, if I don't mistake, 6 in Greece by the working of the international group from Greece and Spain, and it was declared that one baby was born in United Kingdom in this center in Newcastle. It is all that known for us, but what is the main thing which most important for us? First of all, all these 15 babies, they're healthy. It's a confirmation of the safety of this procedure. They have not any healthy problem. And what is the reason of all this restriction? Because it is like the pathological circle. From one point of view, that the doctors, it's understandable, must be sure in the safety of this procedure. But from another point of view, if you will not make this procedure for the patient, you never could understand it's safe or not safe. We understand that it's definite risk, but that all of this investigation has been made after a lot of animal studies, a lot of genetic studies in the level of embryos, and we has made the same. And the same, and even that we make the very careful genetical investigation during the pregnancy of all our patients. It is amniocentesis with whole exome sequencing, with a lot of investigation. And for this reason, I think that it's opened the new perspective for the development of this method and for receiving the confirmation for possibility to use this method for the treatment of some patient. And the first bell that it is continuing to work, it was the creation of the special interesting group. For this moment, it's only beginning. In the Professional Association, European Society of Human Reproduction and Embryology. It was created as a special interested group, the so-called fertility, genetical reproductive initiative, so-called FEGRI. That this group trying to combine the efforts of the people to investigate the possible mutations which could cause the embryo arrest and or site maturation arrest. And the next question that which will be very logical, that how we could help these patients. Because you understand that if, for example, we detect the mutation, that what we will say for this patient? We will say that you need the oocyte donation. It is not. I think that this method will develop and develop, and it could help more for the patients all over the world, not only in Ukraine. I propose that from our patient, it was before the war, some patients from another country, from Sweden, Poland, Israel, United Kingdom even, and we are trying to be the international recognizable clinic. That my explanation will not be very full if I will not say that for this moment in Ukraine it is the war, and in spite of the war we are trying to continue our investigation, we are trying to make it, and I would like that the people all over the world know that Ukraine, it's not only the war, it's not only the box, Klitschko, it's not only Shevchenko, it's a country of the big scientific possibilities, and we hope that after the victory, and I am sure that it will be the victory in this terrible war, we could continue continue our investigation more and more intensively, and we could be the international recognizable scientific developed country.
Ukraine is a country with big scientific possibilities, say Mr. Zukin. Thank you so much.
Potential scientific.
Potential. But nevertheless, you say that you are working right now during the war.
But you understand that if, for example, we have not blackouts, we have not the missile attack, we could work more intensively.
Yeah, of course. Yes, of course. Mr. Zukin, thank you so much. Thank you to be with us for your lectures and for initiative to create this wonderful project. Thank you so much.
Thank you.